Coming up on this week's episode of the 100k Summer Rose, brought to you by PointsBet, we've just had the AFL draft. Me and Jev go down and chat everything footy. Then Morgs jumps on and we have the Ashes. Yes, the Ashes are just about to start. We've got some awesome bets. We go through our predictions and also our next episode of Futurama. The best futures bets that you can only get for 1 week. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Give us a help out. Enjoy. We've got cricket, footy, NBA, NFL kicking off. It's an awesome show. Enjoy. Welcome back to the Summer Roast, everyone's favourite off-season pod where we talk everything AFL, NFL, NBA, and now, Jeb, the home of the cricket. Yes, we will be talking Ashes. It's just about to kick off. Jeb, it's good to be back. Just me and you at the moment, but I believe the big fella will be joining in on the back end.
It's good to be back. Mitch Cleary last week had great feedback. Trying to get some more guests on, none on tonight, but it is so good just to be talking shit dust. Ashes start tomorrow. I'm that pumped.
It's awesome, Jev. Again, it's one of the best times of the year. Playoffs for NFL's just starting to kick off. NBA, LeBron's back. It's good that we can finally bet on LeBron again. But guys, again, if you aren't already, quickly get your phone out or your laptop. Please click subscribe. It does help us out a lot. And of course, if you do want to support the boys and become a 100k tonner, you guys can join the Discord community and Patreon. It's only $2, guys. But Jev, let's get into it. Everyone's favorite finger on the pulse. It is time for ups and downs. What is happening in the sports world? Do you have an up or do you have a down?
Yeah, my first up, Das, is the optimism of the draft. About 5 teams generally think they had their premiership draft last night. Carlton adding Harry Dean at pick 3, having back-to-back pick 3s. Gold Coast had 4 picks in the top 18, Das. Unbelievable. Essendon had 3 picks in the top 15. Melbourne had 2. Lions adding Annabelle. And the Eagles adding 3 guys and 2 at the pointy end of the draft. If you're a supporter of these teams, you're so excited. Richmond added more top 10 picks. Just the optimism the draft gives you. Every kid looks like an absolute gun on draft night, and you are pumped to welcome them to your club. There's no bust yet. They are all stars. So the optimism of the draft is my first up, Das. What about you?
Yeah, Jev, I'm going to lean into pretty much what you said. I reckon we're going to touch on this a little bit. But the Gold Coast Suns, oh my God. Like, protected picks, more high-end talent than a Hugh Hefner Bunnies party. Jev, they're everywhere. Zeke Ewell, Dylan Patterson, the Rocket. They got two other kids. They've got Petrarca in the building. So I just want to put this on record now. I don't think it's a big take, Jev. I think you would agree. I think everyone else in Australia is going to agree. But we just have to declare that it's a lock for 2026 that the Suns are a top 4 side.
Absolutely.
They're a top 4 side. And as investors, Jev, as we like, for top 4, we're getting $2.40. It's cupcake season for the Suns.
Yeah.
It's cupcake season. So they get Geelong at Gold Coast.
Win.
Then they get West Coast.
Win.
Richmond at the G, so not Marvel. Obviously
there.
at the G. The Swans, they got Melbourne. The Swans at Norwood, Jeff. So that's a mutual ground. So you can flip the coin on that. The Bombers, the Giants at home. They get Saints and Port this year up in Darwin. So you know that they're going to win them. They get North. They get Brisbane at home, who they beat by 11 goals last year. The Hawks at home. Collingwood at home. Bulldogs at home. And then Melbourne at home. It's a cupcake schedule for the Suns. So I know you agree, and I know the listeners agree. $2.40. The Suns are say it with me, lock for top 4. So that's my first up. We'll dive into the Suns a little bit more, but that's my first up. It's all up for the Suns, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, it is unbelievable. You think they played in a semi-final last year? They lost a couple of players, a couple of good role players and everything. They've added Christian Petrarca and 4 top 18 picks. Now I know why Dimmer took the job. And when he was probably going for the job, he would have been told, like, this draft you're getting these 3, next draft you're getting these 2, and then the draft after you've got 4 coming through that look the goods. Like, we are going to be good forever. Come to this. I can see exactly what he did at Richmond about to happen at Gold Coast. They're going to be so good, Das. I've got a down coming, Das. The draft. The fucking around, the bid matches, how slow it all was, how compromised it all is. Fuck, it was frustrating last night. I know you're going to touch on this, but teams like Richmond had picks 3 and 4 going into the night. They ended up with picks 7 and 8. That's crazy. Yeah, like 3 and 4 when you finish the season and you don't get your first pick till 7 and 8. That just doesn't happen in any other sport in the whole world, Das. So it's just fucking around.
Well, I got another question later, but we may as well touch on it now. Do we need to protect the first round, Jev? The first round were the picks because we had a team that made a semi-final. They made a semi-final. They had picks coming to the draft. This is the Suns. They had picks 14, 18, 24, 28, 33, 35, and 36. And just because of points in academy, they got picks 2, 5, 17, 18 with points left.
It's unbelievable.
Is it time that we lock up the first round? And then if players eventually want to go back home, again, if you have a father-son that we had in Dean and Cody Walker come in hopefully next year, you want them straight away. But can you imagine if North Melbourne, I think this evens out the league. I'd love to know everyone's opinion. If North Melbourne were able to get Nick Dacos, but as a Collingwood supporter, you always know it's a homecoming after 2 years. So he does a 2-year contract. He plays out of his skin for North Melbourne. And then you know, as a fan base, like he's coming home in 2 years. Then when it's time to get traded, well, then North Melbourne are like, all right, give us the farm. We want 3 first-rounders. Collingwood bring him home. North Melbourne get 3 first, and you sort of get to rebuild from there. Yeah. I feel for the first pick for every side should be protected unless you then swap that out the next year. That's on you. But everyone's first pick should be free game, and then within the next 2 years, then you're able to bring them home. I'd love to know your thoughts on it, but I really think that's going to even out. As you said, Richmond, they have pick 4, and they don't pick till 8 or 9. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I got to be careful on this one because I'm a Swans supporter and we do have a Swans Academy. And if it wasn't for the Swans Academy, there'd be no Errol Goulden, there'd be no Isaac Heaney, there'd be no Callum Mills in the league. So I know how lucky we are with it. But yeah, just the way it's turning into, it is just fucking crazy. It is so nuts. All the academies, all the matching, father, son and stuff. The idea of an unprotected first 18 picks and who you draft is who you keep. And that's when you find out if it's a massive bust or not. Because now all of a sudden, if one of these 2 Richmond players bust at 7 and 8, it's like, fucking hell, we had pick 3 and 4 that year. We tried to get Annabelle. We tried to get Zeke Hewland. We tried to get this bloke and that bloke. And they just kept getting match bids. So you can nearly forgive them. So yeah, I have to be... it's such a hard one for me because my next up, is Harry Kyle. The Swans Academy kid, Das, he has bolted up the draft like a morning glory.
Yes.
He was playing rugby 2 years ago. They reckon his AFL development over the last 2 years has just been unbelievable. He blew the combine out of the water, just his freakish natural athleticism. Have the show he's just drafted the next Isaac Heaney Das with pick 4. And GWS traded up with Hawthorn. They went from 16 to 14, then bid on Harry Kyle, and we had to match him to get him on our list. So I think this kid, it's just up. It's not, no one's seen the best of him yet, and it is one of those you're drafting athleticism, and you hope he can turn into the footballer. Where there's some blokes out there that are just footballs. There's Nick Dacos, and there's Matt Rouse, and there's Murphy Reeds. So we're drafting the prospect. But everything about him is just freak athlete. So it is exciting to have someone like that in the building.
Apparently, Dylan Patterson, NRL clubs were still coming after him 2 years ago. The Rocket.
He was offered contracts and everything.
Just an absolute jet. So I don't know what people say, it doesn't look like a great draft. They go through all the tape, and everyone looks pretty bloody good to me.
Dylan Patterson looks like he's going to be a fucking gun, Das.
So I'm going to bring it down now. We can't have Ben Dixon just roaming the room, Jev. So if anyone watches the NFL, if anyone watches the NFL draft, they fucking nail it. So this is what they do. They sit there on a panel. Imagine a Fox footy. Imagine you had Cal Toomey, couple others. You have David King, Lee Montagna. I'm just saying the guys I like listening to. They're like, I pick one. They're talking about West Coast. The pick is in. And then you got Willem Dursma. He gets put up, and then they show his highlight package. They show what he can offer. And while they're doing that, you see the ticker underneath. All right, pick 2 is in. Then they talk about pick 2. You watch the highlights. Who are we getting? Rather than some god-awful, awkward, shitty interview with them and their parents that no one cares about. Oh. That's the only reason why I don't watch the draft. I tuned in last night after to watch when Harry Dean got picked, and they kept asking me his old man about when he fell over. No one cared. Show me some tape on the kid. Yeah. And then move on. It is, the AFL just do things so horribly. So we need to fix it, or at least have an option for the calculator, have his own live stream and let him crunch numbers. That should be his grand final. So that's a down for me.
The NFL draft is dead set bigger than the AFL grand final. Like the NFL draft is so big. And when on NFL drafts, if you've never watched it before, they have like a panel of 5 experts. And when a guy goes pick 4, they'll just be like, had this bloke at number 11 on my draft board coming out of Georgia, thought he was the best pass rusher in the draft, but he has a few personality problems. I absolutely love him. Have a look at this tape. Have a look at what he did to Alabama in this game. They've just got all their tape and takes on every player. All we're getting is Ben Dixon asking if you're still going to take your washing home to mum or you're going to do it in your new place. Shit, it sucks. It is so frustrating. So bad, you don't even get to see Willem Dersma go up and shake fucking Andrew Dillon's hand anymore. It's just Dicko shoving the mic in his face. It was so frustrating last night. And you feel sorry for Dicko because some of the blokes are obviously nervous getting in front of a camera the first time. So they're not giving him much. So he's just he's fishing a line out there and asking some shocking questions. And you're like, God damn, this stinks.
So I messaged Morgs last night quickly and I was like, what do you reckon his contract is, Ben Dixon? And Morgs said it must be just 200 appearances throughout the year. And you can watch, he does not have a question written down. He's just up there asking the kid, so excited to go to Hawthorn. He's just asking him absolute tomfoolery. Do you have anything else for us?
Just one last up, and just the Ashes and the build-up around the Ashes. And I think I've had this as an up my last couple of weeks. Just the build-up and just you and me love social media. We love Instagram. We like having a look. The way people are just bringing old Ashes highlights up and the series, Mitch Johnson took 38 wickets. Scott Bowen, 6 for 7. Peter Siddle's hat-trick. Just remembering how good the Ashes actually is. And it starts tomorrow. And there's going to be 25 days of cricket over the summer. It's just awesome. And I'm so excited. And we take for granted that it only comes to Australia once every 4 years. I just cannot wait. I'm so excited, Dars. Perth Test to start is awesome because in Melbourne, it starts at about 2 p.m. and goes to about 10 p.m. Yep. And it's just it's going to be so much fun this weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You go back to work Monday, and if it's still in there Monday and Tuesday, you just can't wait to get home from work and tune into the Ashes Dars.
I've got it up here, but I really don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx. So I even got that written down. I think I might just leave it, maybe for next week.
Okay.
Or maybe after Christmas. But I do have one before we get into just the rest of the draft, Jev. I love finding an early winner. I love finding an early investment. So I'm just going to ask you. We spoke in a group chat before, and we always hope that your team improves. Your team gets better. And we said last week, I would be utterly disappointed and disgusted if Carlton, not only the top 8, but they did not make the top 10. Yes?
Yeah.
What do you think they're paying to make the top 10? Top 10.
The odds I would set would be about $2.50 to $3.
It is $4.50, Jev. There is a glitch on PointsBet right now. I put that in our Carlton group chat, and we have all hammered that exclusively. And I've put that. I know we've got Futurama later on, and we've got some really nice futures bets. I've also put that into a couple of things that I think are the best bets going forward, as long as Carlton, not top 4, not top 6, top 8, top 10. They're $4.50.
Yeah.
That's a pretty wild price. Would you not agree?
It's actually great. It's great value for you and your optimism. We're going to do a bit in a minute, then I'm going to come back to this, but it is exciting for you for sure. I had a look, and the Swans to make the top 6, not even the top 4, because I think the top 6 is you just got to be in the top 6 to win the premiership now.
Yeah,
because you know that top 2, they get too much time off, too much fucking time off.
Zone.
Yeah, it's that play grand final. Whereas when the Lions beat the Swans, they came from 5th, and I remember Chris Fagan, he was just like, we just thought we were more battle-hardened than the Swans, because the Swans won their first final bye, had a soft kill Port Adelaide in the prelim final, and then just got pants by Lions. They're like, we've been through hard games, we're battle-hardened. Then last year, the Lions lose their first final, then they go the long way, but they've played 3 games, 4 games in a row to get to the grand final. So I like Whoever finishes, I reckon the premiers are going to come from 5th or 6th next year, Das, or lose the first final. It's the teams that stay battle hardened. So the Swans finish top 6. It's like $1.70 or something. It's bloody short, but I love it. Just be in that top 6 dance, basically.
I love your work, Jeff. Yeah, they're pretty fun to look at. I was going through, I just said 450 for 10th. Like, you've got to back your squad, yeah, Jeff? You got to back your squad. You got to back your squad. All right, on the draft, Jeff, there's a couple other things we got here. You had a take on a couple of young kids that got drafted. Now, I wasn't fully across the draft. I rewatched it. I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I believe you've got something that you want the listeners to hear.
I don't want to be mean, Das. I'm not trying to shoot anyone. The Latrell Mitchell in front of Dyson Sharp will go down as the modern-day Jack Billings before Marcus Bontempelli, Das. That is the modern-day Jack Billings for Marcus Bontempelli. Dyson Sharp has gone back-to-back All-Australians in the National Championship. He made it at the age of 17, made it at the age of 18, was best on ground and captain in South Australia's National Championship win. He looks huge. He looks like a man already. He looks ready to go, ready to play midfield tomorrow. He looks every part of the steal of the draft at 13. I just like the look of him. I like the look of him. I don't know much about him. I liked his tape. But then Shifter Sheen and stuff last night we're just talking about, can't believe he was the bolter of the draft. He's the gem of the draft sort of thing. Latrell Pickett was playing sample twos this year. Look, if he turns into Cozzy 2.0, I'll happily eat my words. And if he's half as talented as Cozzy, I'll eat my words. Guns like Cozzy is one of the most talented players I've ever seen. If he's anything like Cyril, Eddie Betts, any of these guys, he will be a star. But Dyson Sharp looks every part of the Clayton Oliver replacement. They got their Petrarca replacement last year with drafting Harvey Langford. They could have had their Clayton Oliver replacement this year, drafting Dyson Sharp. Then they've still got Cozzy and a couple more years of Max Gawn. So I just reckon we're going to look back on this draft and it's going to be the modern day taking Jack Billings over Marcus Bontempelli. And when I say this to Morgs, search up that draft night and look at Jack Billings. I know history's a funny thing. Standing next to Marcus Bontempelli, holding their jumpers, and one's a whole head taller, shoulders wider, and one looks short. And it's like, how the hell did you draft the 5'11" bloke in front of the 6'5" bloke? I just reckon that happened last night, Das, and I think they're going to regret it, the Ds. And if it was to keep Cozzy happy because he's on that 9-year deal and he might demand a trade at the end of every year if they're not doing stuff to keep him happy because he wants to go home. If it was to get his cousin in the building and keep him happy, I understand it. I just think it's going to age horrendously.
I don't mind it, Jeff. I don't mind it. Have you seen the meme of Randy Marsh when he's sitting down and he's just creamed all over his laptop?
Yes.
That was Shifter Sheen going home last night rewatching the draft. How much does his prick up and he just gets so excited to be part of the draft, Shifter Sheen? It's his grand final, so we love him. Now, there's one more take that you've been pretty hell-bent on. On your tombstone, it's not going to be Swans Nuffy, I love gambling, I love my missus, I love drinking beer. It's none of that. It is DDD. Don't draft Dersmers. So there's 4 of them now playing the AFL, 1 in the AFLW, so 4 in total though, but they've all gone pro.
Yeah.
Are we standing by don't draft Dersmers still, or is it 4th time's a charm with Willem?
Look, I have to double down on the don't draft Dersmers.
Yes.
I don't draft Dersmers. Do I like the size and the look of Willem? I do. So I don't know what happened to Xavier, but then Zane's a bit taller than him, and then Willem's another head taller than them. So it's like, okay, they reckon he sort of plays halfback. He can mark everything. I like the look of him as a player. So my take has to be, he won't be the best player in this draft. Basically, I reckon there's going to be better players in this draft. He shouldn't have gone pick 1. So he can still be a good player. He's going to be better than Xavier, and he has to be better than Zane. He has to be better than Zane. But I reckon there's going to be better players in this draft than Willem Dersmer. Geez, he's happy with himself. I know you have to be these days. You've got to be confident. The kids are confident. Man, he is happy with himself. Like, he already called himself Batman and Harley Reid Robin last night. It's like, oh boy, that is happy with yourself. So Yeah, I'm sure looks like he's going to be a good player. Whether he's pick one good will play out, and that's why don't draft Dersmers. No Dersmer should ever go pick one.
Do you think he's so good at moving because he's done ballet since he was 3?
Maybe. What they say, James Hurd used to do it as well. What the hell?
You should have done ballet.
I should have. If
few
there
more
been
years of
any
footy.
more twinkle toes, I should have. I was stuck in the mud dust.
So good. Now, Jeff, did you like the look of the Bombers draft last night?
Look, I love their draft ass. I loved
Go.
it. They took the absolute bolter in the draft, Sullivan Roby. They were talking last night in June, July. He hadn't spoken to one club, and then by the end, he's spoken to all 18. So he must be the bolter in the draft. They took my man Dyson Sharp, who I've been speaking about. Like, I just like the look of him. And they took a key defender in Jacob Farrow. Dyson Sharp does, I know I'm talking about him a lot. He just looks everything ready to be the next captain, basically, especially if Merritt leaves. You know, they might give it to McGrath for a couple of years, but he looks everything ready to be. So I want to know in the comments below, will the Bombers win a final before 2030? Because half of me loves this draft. I love Nate Caddy, Kako and Angus Clark last year. So they've got the bones. They got the 3 this year. They got the couple of the last couple of years. They've got the bones. But the other half of me remembers they are a pathetically run football club. A majority of their senior players don't want to be there. Zach Merritt doesn't want to be there. Jordan Ridley doesn't want to be there. I question if Darcy Parish is 100% all in and he really wants to be there. Sam Draper walked out the door. Ben Mackay's still on a big contract. So what do you reckon, Darce? Do you think the Bombers win a final before 2030 or are they still going to go without winning a final?
No way. Push out to 2035 and I'm still saying no. No way.
There's no chance.
10 years? So you reckon they're going to win one of the next 4?
Well, do you think Carlton just finish higher than them next year?
Yes.
Do you think Carlton win a final before them?
Comfortably.
So I personally don't think there's any difference between Carlton and Essendon.
When's the last time Essendon won a final?
Well, I'm pretty sure you've won the same amount of finals since the year 2000. You
Yeah,
played in the same amount of
more
prelim.
recently. So if the lists are more recent, who's been closer or who's won more finals? We do.
But we'll go.
What list would you rather right now?
Hey,
What list would you rather right now?
right today, Carlton's. But if I watch these 3 kids play, might rather Essendon's. I just think there's no difference between Essendon and Carlton.
We're better.
I just don't think either team attracts free agents. I think
we attracted 5.
Hey,
we just got 5 in the building, Jev. Hey, mate, we just picked up the best. We just picked up the best.
Like
your favourite player, Will Hayward.
I'm talking Zach Butters.
Your favourite winger. Your favourite winger on the outside, Ollie Florent, Jev. We just picked him up for chips.
He can't kick.
We picked him up for chips.
I personally don't think there's any. I hate how Carlton acts so superior to the Bombers. I don't think there's any difference. I think you're going to be fighting 10th and 11th next year, or 11th and 12th.
We can be superior because we've mopped the floor with them the last 5 to 6 years. So you can be. So you can be.
We were there that night. Nate Caddy kicked 6 and beat you pretty comfortably.
You can be. We can be, Jeb. Now, there's one more thing on the Bombers, Jeb. It is a sad day for opposition ruckman. Sad day. Todd Goldstein officially retired from the AFL. So this is about 40 minutes ago. This has just come in. We're time stamping this 5:20 on Thursday, November 20. So it's just come in, Jeb. Hasn't been offered a spot. And you can feel like so many ruckmans have just fallen to their knees. They will never get an opportunity to face a 2026 Todd Goldstein, which would have been the best matchup for you as a ruckman, a dynamic ruckman coming into 2026. So let's just be quiet for 5 seconds and just remember Todd Goldstein.
I love you, Freezer Undertaker. So who's going to be their ruckman next year? Because there was rumours last night that they were trying to trade up to get that Cooper Duff Tyler at pick 2. Yep. The one that went to West Coast, ruckman. Looks like he's going to be a good player. Looks like they just called him a mix of Luke Jackson, Tom DeConning. Looked like a smooth moving big man. So there was rumours they were trying to trade their picks, whatever they had, 7 and 8 or whatever they had, to go up and get Cooper Duff Tyler. So Goldstein retires, Sam Draper leaves. Who is going to be their ruckman next year?
It shows how much we haven't watched footy in a while, but I believe, is Nick Bryant still there? He was meant to, or did they ship him off? Remember the big blonde hair? Like he was rolling around for a bit. Again, footy hasn't been around for a while, so
Yeah, I actually can't remember.
I actually don't know if he's still on the list. Maybe Bombers fans.
Yeah, there was someone that was playing all right last year, and then he got injured, and that's why Goldson just had to do the majority of the work. Anyway, it's sad that the Freezer Undertaker has retired, Das. So, Das, you had the take the Saints will finish higher than the Cats next year. I'm looking at Geelong's draw right now. Their first 4 games are teams that made finals last year. Gold Coast, Freo, Hawks, and Adelaide. Tough start. Then by round 13, they also play the Dogs, Pies at the G, Blues at the G, Swans, Lions at the Gabba, Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. So they play Adelaide twice in the first 13 rounds. We all remember last year, they had the bye at round 16, and then the easiest schedule of all time after the bye. Richmond twice, North, Essendon. Like, they just got hot at the right time of the year because they had easy kills. This time, they have Gold Coast and Freo leading into the bye, then the Lions and GWS post-bye, the Saints and Collingwood again. So it is nowhere near as easy. The teams they played twice this year are Gold Coast, Freo, Collingwood, Adelaide, and Brisbane. All probably going to play in the top 8. Their schedule is significantly harder than last year. So, Das, are you doubling down on the Saints will finish higher than the Cats in 2026?
Absolutely, we're doubling down. But just to start off, if you've had a quick look at the schedule scanning, how many games, roughly, would you say you think Geelong are going to win? Just scanning over it.
Oh, just with all their GMH, like they're still going to win their 13 games.
13 games. Well,
12,
we've got the Saints.
games, yeah.
We've got the Saints winning at least 15 games, Jev.
Let's go.
15 games. And I've got another one for you. How's this? They will only lose 1 game at Marvel next year.
Ooh.
Only 1. And that's because they double up against the Blues. Nah, they may double scalp us, but it's usually 1-1 against Carlton. But listen to what they have at home. They are so good at Marvel. We always say Ross Lyon can coach the jocks off anyone. I'll tell you what, Jeff, if you could get some of these sides anywhere, you want them under the lid. And if they get on a roll, it is going to be packed every week. It's going to be deafening. You even know when the Swans are doing well, the Saints can still beat you on any given day.
Yep.
Brisbane at home, West Coast, this is under the lid. Brisbane, West Coast, Carlton twice, so we split them. They get Richmond, Hawthorn, Giants, the Bulldogs, the Bombers, Port, North, Swans, and the Suns. Yes, they will do the Suns in the Esky. That's at least 12 wins, Jeb. Then we're getting at least 3 on the road. So May 28th, Jev, write this down. May 28th, round 12. They've got the Hawks at Marvel pretty early in the year.
Yeah.
Then the next week, round 13, they go to the SCG to play the Swans.
Always play well
at
the SCG.
On the road. And then they come back home. They do not leave Victoria from round 14 onwards. The only trip outside Marvel and the MCG is to go down to the Cattery. And you know what? They'll probably take that scalp as well, Jev. They play their last 10 rounds in Melbourne. They're going to win at least 15 games. Geelong will be 13 or under. Again, I'm going with history. If you get your ass handed to you in a grand final, the next year, it's a little bit tougher. And look, I don't think Geelong's list is getting any younger. I love what the Saints have done. They've brought in so many players. I love this schedule. I love their matchups they get at Marvel. They're going to get rolling. 100% I'm doubling down on the Saints, Jev.
I love it. I love that you've doubled down. I love the way the fixture fell for the Saints. The no travel in the last 10 games is just unbelievable. We've said it. The opening round at the MCG against Collingwood is their biggest game since the bloody 2011 grand final. Basically, it is just huge. So yeah, I love that you're doubling down. This is just my only question.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of last year's finals, and then I'm thinking the Dogs and the Swans finished 9th and 10th, who are probably both going to be pretty good next year. So you're talking about how you're going to bury Carlton to make the top 10, and you've got the Saints finishing higher than Geelong. So you probably have the Saints in that top 10 as well. So do you have Geelong out of the top 10 and Carlton above Geelong as well? Or do they all fit in and teams like Freo and Collingwood come right out of the thing?
Yeah, I think Collingwood dip out. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Carlton, again, I'm genuinely not surprised we finished top 8. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dogs barely make 9th or 10th as well. I just don't think they've gotten much better around the teams. The Giants, again, I reckon they'll slide a little bit. I just think the Saints are going to have a really good fucking year. I think Collingwood will go down. I think Geelong got to go down. I know you're still big on the Giants. I'm not expecting absolute massive raps from them this year. Port Adelaide aren't going to go anywhere. Melbourne, Essendon, North, Richmond, West Coast. There's no threat from the bottom. I reckon it's going to be a bit of a shuffle. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Geelong are all the way down.
So you have the Saints and the Blues in the top 10.
Yep.
So you got 2 coming out. Maybe Geelong, potentially Collingwood, potentially GWS, potentially the Dogs. Is what you're saying?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
I love it. That's fine.
That's where I feel.
That's when you were saying Blues make top 10. I'm like, that's fine. You can have that take, but I'm just thinking, righto. Looking at last year's top 8, they'll all be fine next year. I think the Swans are going to go up rather than down again, finishing 10th. Dogs could stay the same. How are you creeping in and having the take the Saints finish higher? But yeah, teams have to go. Teams will get worse. Injuries will happen. Happens every year. That is the first half an hour of the pod. Coming up next, Das, the captain of the ship, Long Dong Silver, Morgs will be joining us.
All right, we'll get him in and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Joining us now, the captain of the ship, Long Dong Silver. Morgs, how are you, brother?
Good, fellas. Thanks for having me. Unbelievable. Don't know what you talked about. Can't wait to hear it, though. Week 12 in the NFL. We're past halfway, which is a sad time, but footy almost feels kind of back.
Little bit. There's a lot of preseason to go, but did you catch any of the draft last night? Did you see some of Ben Dixon's work?
Not a lick. That's the reason I didn't catch a lick. Having said that, though, I said to Das last night, I actually think Ben Dixon would be like not a bad wedding MC or something like that. Like, we always call him the Gooch. He's good at all roles. I actually think I'm going to have him at my 40th, I reckon. I'll just get him roaming at the 40th and we'll get a bit of a content out of it.
Is it true you met Cooper Duff Tyler today, Morgs?
Yeah, I did actually. I was doing Tommy Talks. I was there today in studio. He's a lump of a lad in a good way. Often we refer to each other as lumps for sort of width, but he was huge. Had to duck his head on the way in. Just a massive lad. Yeah, and then he's gonna. It was funny. He's thinking about taking Matty Flynn's spot. So from the GWS Giants, Tommy actually got him to FaceTime in without him knowing. So he tried to sort of bait him to say he's going to take his spot, and then up came Matty Flynn. So yeah, it's a funny little interview. But yeah, he's a big boy. He's going to make an impact pretty straight away, I reckon.
Yeah, he's an impressive unit.
He's so tall. He had to change his name to Duck Tyler to get through the door.
That's great. Good. So just one quick thing we spoke about, Morgs. So Das thinks the best bet in points bet history is Carlton to make the top 10 at $4.50. Is it $4.50, Das?
$4.50.
Do you like the sound of that, Morgs?
Look, I think, for $4.50, so that's one like in the NFL. If that was just $1.90 either way, wouldn't go near it. But as Mitch Cleary said last week, you've said it, Jev, if Michael Voss doesn't make the top 10, he's gone. So, it's all laid out for us. So, if we get a nice, juicy $4.50, then I think you have to take that. Like, it would be an utter failure for that $4.50 not to cash, essentially, is what we're saying.
So, yeah, you go, Das.
Is that just the biggest price mishap of all time? All of them are like $1.10, $1.20. And I kept going down. Carlton was just wedged out at $4.50. $4.50, and I've hammered it. I've hammered it in the personals, and I've got another multi on as well, Morgs, which I'll get to a little bit later.
So then, uncaged, Jev.
Yeah, no. So then he doubled down on the Saints will finish higher than the Cats, right? So let's just think of last year's top 8. Then Dogs and Swans finish 9th and 10th. And he's got the Saints finishing higher than the Cats. So I'm just trying to get into his head. And he said he thinks Collingwood might fall out and Geelong might finish maybe as low as 12th. And GWS not be as good. And the Dogs might not be as good. So he sees Saints and Carlton coming into the top 10 and Geelong and Collingwood basically coming out. Where do you sort of sit on all of this? Like when you actually sort of lay it out and you got the Saints coming in.
Yeah, it is one of those ones. It's like before the NFL season. You got about 13 teams coming in. You don't know who's going out.
Yeah.
Das, historically pretty high on Freo as well, which is another one that have to come in. No, when you lay it out like that,
they were already in.
No,
that's right. No, beg your pardon. But yeah, I only say that because I was listening to Mitch Cleary on the way home from the train, just from a recap from last week. I just still think that $4.50. I kind of agree with you, Jev. Are you saying you'd take what do you get for them to miss the 10?
Well, I just wouldn't take them at $4.50 to make. I just don't think they're going to make the 10. I think the 10 teams clearly better.
$4.50. I think we shit it in. Top 6.
I kind of agree. I think you'll know in 3 weeks. You'll know in 3 weeks.
Boys, let's get into it. It is summertime. It is time for the Ashes. We've got so much to talk about. If you're listening to this, it's just about to kick off. The Ashes is literally just about to start. So I just want to kick us off by saying only on 3 occasions has a team won all tests in an Ashes series. Australia have done it 3 times. Boys, the Aussies are paying $9 to go 5-0. Jev, what are your first thoughts on the Ashes?
I don't think they're going to win 5-0, but I think the $1.70 or whatever we're getting for the Aussies, I think we're absolute locks to win or just retain the Ashes. I think it's going to be maybe 3-1. We're going to win 3. England might sneak 1, and there might be a draw or a rained out game in there. I just want to bet on. I bet you the Ashes will be on Australian soil after this series. I think they're an absolute lock to retain the Ashes, Lou.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I must admit, I feel like I don't know this England side as well as I have in previous years, which really excites me. I think it's just so good that it means the exact same to us this Ashes, yet we don't know the side as well. So, yeah, I kind of agree. I hope we're a little bit surprised. I wouldn't mind just obviously it goes without saying, but just an epic series. Like, yeah, we've enjoyed some just flushing outsides, but we do that to Pakistan and West Indies. Like, I just hope we get a barnstormer. I'll take 2-2. I think you're right, though. The $1.70, Jev.
2-2 going into Sydney. It would be great, but it always fucking rains in the Sydney Test every year.
Yep.
That's the only thing
Sorry, Das, you go.
The only thing I disagree with you with, I think I watched my teams lose enough. I watched Carlton. My favourite thing about summer of cricket is just wiping teams.
5-0.
Watching every test and we're winning. I love the fact that we're so good at cricket. I absolutely love it. You were going to say something else, Morgs?
They talk about this in American sports much. Say there's a 7-game series and you might like OKC to win, 4-2. But every individual game you tip them to win, but eventually they're going to lose 2. I actually don't want England to win any. I don't want them to go 1-0 up or to be 1-1 after 2. So I think it's going to be 3-1 and a draw. But every single test, I'll tip the Aussies to win before the test, and I want us to win 5-0 basically.
100%. I just love that it's all of Australia. Like, obviously, putting out a lot of content throughout the year. Jev, you've pissed a lot of people off throughout the year, but the next 4 months, we're just together.
Yeah,
we're just one.
I love it.
And you can feel it. Every post, everything. We're just one, and you get the odd pom to comment. Yeah, but we're just one, and I'm loving it.
To be fair, though, I remember before last year's summer, I think Jev had a go at Cummings saying, is he the man to captain the side? He had some weird take. Yes.
Yeah. He couldn't help himself.
Yeah, fuck.
It's true. All right, so, Morgs, Jev, we have a thing here. So PointsBet have some awesome markets. Now, all these are singles. The best thing about what we do is we can turn these into a multi. So I've got 5 legs here. Let's agree on where we think these guys are going to go in the first innings, and we'll get it on before the first test. So if you guys are listening to this now, we'll have it on our story. But Steve Smith, 25 or less runs, 26 to 60 runs, or 61 plus. Where do we think he's going to go in the first?
Oh.
They're all paying above $2.30 as well.
He's definitely making more than 25. It's not that 25 or less. The 25 to 60 feels like the play for me, Morgs.
Definitely, especially if you haven't said, but if we're getting more than $2, definitely.
Well, so, yes, that's $3. That's the juiciest. So we'll take that.
Geez, we'll regret it if we don't take the 60 or more and he just plays on. Nah, first
that's
test,
cash.
they're going to have a plan for him, everything. Nah, 25 to 60 feels like the play.
All right, so we'll take that. Travis Head, 20 or less, between 21 and 50, or 51 plus.
That feels the exact same, doesn't it, Lou? Between 21 and 50 feels like the play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just wanted to give Travis cider. I reckon I like actually the under. Yeah, just the
under 20.
Yeah, just throw it away a touch, but have a great summer. But yeah, just get a bit excited and go and falls for 17, but he's on fire.
And then Dust, you're over 50.
Yeah, I was going to say he starts the season really well. So we've got to pick one of them. So if we just go the middle.
Go the over.
Yeah, go the over. Good. We'll take him for 51. All right, now we got 3 bowlers here in the first innings. Mitchell Starc. These lines 2.5. Are we taking the over or under?
How many Aussie bowlers you got coming?
3. So we got 3 in total. So we got Stark, Lyon, and Boland.
All their lines 2.5?
Nah. Boland is, and Lyon's 1.5. But let's go Stark first.
Well, who else has taken the wickets? If they're going to take 10, Doggett's probably not going to take many. I think it's over, isn't it?
Yep.
Stark 4, Boland 3, Lyon 2. 3. There's 10.
Yeah, or we can throw Doggett a bone and it still cashes.
Yeah, he can get one. He can have his 1 for 40 off 20, bowl well, but someone's going to take the wickets.
We are putting this in. So we've got Steve Smith between 26 and 60 and throw it away. Travis Head over. We've got Stark over, Lyon over, Boland over. We're going to get this on. This is going to be close to a 5 for 25
we
price.
We are so smart. So smart.
Where else do you get a podcast and 3 blokes who's taken 5 over?
This is
and
sharp.
Boys, we're going to get that on. Jev, when you look at the front of the PointsBet page, there are some awesome markets there. Player of the series. What else are you looking at?
Well, Daisy Thomas, our man. Daisy spicy delivery, day 1. Aussies to dominate day 1, Morgs. Steve Smith to score a ton or Scott Boland to take 5 wickets. You get $5 for that. You get the either or.
That's nice.
I'm going straight to player of the match. I swear, every test over the last couple of years, Scott Boland gets man of the match. We're getting 15-1. He gets it every time. He takes 4 in the first innings, 5 in the second innings, and he wins man of the match. I just love the 15-1 for Scott Boland.
Absolutely. No, I love that. Does Scotty get the new ball? That's the one thing I was wondering.
Yeah, him and Stark, yeah.
You reckon? Yeah.
It's Doggett and Lyon, and then Cam Green. Yeah, absolutely. He comes in from the other end.
What a treat that is.
Oh, isn't it? I can't wait.
Boy.
We've got a few other things that we have in the pipeline, but as you said, Morgs, we don't know exactly who this England team is. So after this first test, then we can really go through. We can start to come up with some really fun markets. But boys, last night at the Royal Hotel, 5 men met in board shorts and thongs for some deep conversations and some shit tits. It was about after 12 jugs and a round of tequila, they came to a conclusion. The pinnacle of cricket analysis in pyramid form. It is the rich tapestry that is the greatest segment in all of sports. Welcome back, Jev's Pyramid.
Yeah.
A cricket Ashes pyramid. Nothing has ever been done like this before for the Ashes, and I'm pumped up to deliver the first ever Ashes pyramid, boys. First ever summer of cricket pyramid. So let's get straight into it. So it's funny. There's 21 spots on the pyramid, and there's 22 players going to play, and each spot is about 25. So someone misses out. But row 6, starting at row 6. Usman Khawaja, he's defeating Father Time. Jeez, he's still a good batsman. Jofra Archer, he's played 2 tests since 2021, Morgs. So he's a good bowler, but 2 tests. James Smith, Bryden Cass, Zach Crawley, and Bo Webster. Some of them, I don't know who they are. I don't know who Bryden Cass is. Jamie Smith, I don't really know who he is. Zach Crawley, I know he can hold the bat. And Bo Webster, we love big Bo Webster. Row 5, Ben Duckett, Cam Green, Mark Wood, Alex Carey, and Marnus Labuschagne. So I saw that kick forward. Ben Duckett, opening batsman, short, hard to get out, good batter. Marnus has been out of form, but we assume he's going to come back to form. Alex Carey, our keeper. Mark Wood, one of their best bowlers. Cam Green's just a good all-rounder, boys. Row 4, Mitch Stark, Harry Brook, Josh Hazlewood, Scott Boland. Mitch Stark's going to get that new ball. He's been taking wickets in Australia forever. Harry Brook is a gun batsman for the Poms. I think he's the #1 rated batsman in the world. Jeez, he can bat. He's hard to get out. He plays every shot in the book. In test matches, he doesn't care. Josh Hazlewood, he's missing the first test, maybe a little bit too high, but he's an honest bowler. And our man Scott Boland, he could be higher, but there's some good players above him. Row 3, boys. Ben Stokes, Nathan Lyon, Travis Head. Travis Head is an absolute gun. Ben Stokes, the skip, bowls, bats. He's a good player. And Nathan Lyon's the GOAT. He's the best off spinner of all time. You got to have Nathan Lyon up there on row 3. On row 2, Pat Cummins, Joe Root.
Yeah.
Pat Cummins could be higher, but he's missing the first test. But I saw footage of him the other day, bowling full gas. He's just on a bit of a pitch count. But when he comes back, he's one of the best bowlers Australia's ever had at home. He's going to have a massive say on this series. I'm going to say from the second test. And then Joe Root at 2. He's a good batsman, boys. But he's never turned up on Australian soil before. And I don't think that's changing. I reckon we're going to get it. He's not going to make a ton. We're going to be too good for him. And on number 1, the top of the pyramid, Spectrum Steve, boys. Steve Smith, the standing captain absolute gun. He looks in form. He's already been making tons for New South Wales, facing Scott Boland and the likes. He just looks ready to go. He just looks ready to go. You know how hard he's going to be working for this summer. He's back in charge of the captain, so the tism is going to be in overload. Steve Smith is the best player going into this series. That is the Ashes Pyramid, boys. Just first thoughts on it?
Well, it's based on the past, the present, and the now. Honestly, and the future. Looking forward, I definitely would have. I can't believe how even how many English players you actually put into it. I thought you were going to have all the Australian and all the English on bottom to start. I've got Bo Webster above Stokes. Bo Webster actually has buckets. He will not drop a catch, and he'll make a 50 at least once a test.
Love that.
I genuinely would have thought that you would have. Yes, I know Gary Lyon's the GOAT, but you got Scott Boland ahead of him. He's going to have a way better series. Jeff, we almost anticipated that he might be man of the series, and he's row 4. I can't believe you had him on row 4.
I agree.
And the fact that Joe Root, again, until he makes runs on Australian soil, I can't believe you had him that high. And look, I know that you're probably trying to, maybe try and get some English followers, but I can't believe Scott Boland at 4, not even 4th on the list. On tier 4, that's almost un-Australian. That's all I'll say.
You got to give Nath Lyon a bit of credit. Hey, we're going to do this after every test, so it's going to be fluid. It's going to change as guys play well, make runs. You got to earn your spot. So, yeah, that is the first pyramid. Morgs, anything?
Mate, I absolutely love it. I love that you will. I think it's going to be motivational. I think that because they'll see this, they will see this, and I think it might light a fire on a couple of blokes. What I did love was Ben Duckett. One of his attributes were just short.
Have you seen how short he is?
No, I know, but it was we used.
He's the size of the stumps. Hit him in the head and you appeal.
He almost can't be higher with that height. But yeah, no, I think that's potentially the perfect pyramid, Jeff.
Can I ask? So there's 22 listed players, 21 on the pyramid. Who missed out? Did you mention that?
Well, I've got Josh Hazelwood in there, and I've got what's
Cummins.
his name? Your man, Bo Webster, who isn't going to be in the team tomorrow. Josh Hazelwood and Bo Webster aren't going to be in the team. So it's just a couple of English blokes. They reckon the English spinner stinks. They're like, when you go through the teams, and Smith and Root are pretty even. Harry Brook, Travis Head are pretty even. The openers are even. Our fast bowlers are probably a little bit better than their fast bowlers. Ben Stokes is probably a little better than our all-rounder. But Gaz Lyon is that much better than their spinner. It isn't funny. So it is exciting.
Stinks.
And just to clear up as well with any haters, because there are going to be some, the fact that Bo Webster's there, Cummins there, Hazelwood there, it's based on the past, the present, the future, and the now. So when you take in those 4 chronological factors, okay, that's the pyramid.
I can't just have Cummings off the pyramid because he's missing the test.
Exactly.
He's the captain of Australia, boys. He's the captain of our country. He's dead set the captain of this podcast.
No,
he's about it.
He's all right. Jeff, I can't wait to hear the feedback on it. I'm sure it's just going to be absolutely Mickey Mouse as it always is. But let's roll through Futurama, Jeff, season 2. It was a hit last week. Excited for this week. Bring us home.
No, so it's season 1, episode 2, Futurama. So last week was an absolute hit, boys. It took off. Dust, there was a gathering of a lot of people. You were showing them. Every single person you were there got on the bet, didn't they?
Everyone couldn't believe the odds that you got.
It was so smart. It was such a good bet. It's still on the site now, so it might last one more day. But boys, season 2. So we're all going to. So last week I did all the legs. We're all going to come with a leg this time. So Morgs, what is your leg? Futurama episode 2.
Can we clear up, Jeff? This will come out Friday morning. Can we give him till Saturday morning?
No,
till it goes off the site.
No, the new one goes Friday to Friday. I just mean the old last week. Episode 1 is still up on the website right now.
Yeah, so can we give them till? We'll give them till Saturday morning.
Yeah, maybe they might.
Feeling generous, right? There's only one team to bet on the NBA right now, Das.
Yes,
and that's the OKC Thunder. We saw them live about 10 days ago. Yep. It was an absolute demo job of the Clippers. Just defense. The Clippers looked good early, and then we just used defense to become offense. It was unbelievable. Yep. I say I'm an OKC man. They're winning. They're winning the chip, and I want to have something we're riding in for the whole season. So I love the first episode, Jev, Shea, and Luca. I think that's amazing. Can't believe we got that. But we just need to be riding OKC. We're going to lift it up with your legs. So let's have that in for the chip.
it's getting to KD on the Warriors territory. You just dust every team. I think you're 15-1, 14-1. He's lost
14-1,
one game. Shai doesn't even play fourth quarters and he's still averaging 32. He doesn't need to. Your second best player hasn't played a game this season. As you say, Morgs, the OKC 2s would be 7th in the West. Like, it is just domination. So I just can't see him. And the East stinks. So I can't see him not winning it.
Denver are definitely a threat, but I think we'll get to a point where, let's have a bet with Denver on in future episodes. But for now, we just have to take the Thunder, Das.
Das, your leg?
Yeah, so I've gone a little bit left of field here. So I've actually made a market, which we'll chat about in a minute, exactly how much it is. Last week's bet paid $11. This almost pays 11 on itself. And we were able to multi it in to the Futurama bet. But I'm bringing to this table Steve Smith and Travis Head to combine for 5 centuries. This Ashes series.
That is
They'd have to combine for 5. Smith can do it. Smudge can do it all himself. I think it might be a 3-2 sort of setup, but that is in the Futurama multi, Jeff.
That is so good. That is so smart. It's going to be so fun to ride knowing we've got OKC, but we've got Smith. Every time Smith and Head make a ton, that is a tick. We need 5 of them. I reckon we might get one tomorrow or in the next couple of days, boys. And my leg to bring us home, Ohio State to win the national championship at 275 is the freest of money you can find. They're number 1 in the country by an absolute mile. Their defense allows 7.5 points a game. They've allowed 8 touchdowns in 10 games, boys. Or 10 touchdowns in 8 games, whatever they've played. They're so far ahead of everyone. So they're going to be the 1 seed. That's a lock, which means they get a first-round bye, which means they've only got to win 2 games to get to the national championship game, and the first game's going to be an absolute lemon. We're basically taking them at 275 head-to-head in the national championship game because I can basically guarantee, and when we get to that game, they'll be paying $1.40. Ohio State right now at 275, they've got the 2 best defensive players in the country. They've got the best offensive player, or one of the best offensive players, the best wide receiver. They're so far ahead of the nation, and they're not spoken about because it's demolition jobs every week. It's like 30-7 every week. It's easy work. They're 275 right now. That is this week's Futurama. Ohio State to win the national championship. Smith and Head to combine for 5 tons. OKC to win the championship. That'll be on the PointsBet website from Friday to Friday. We're getting 61-1, boys.
What?
$61 that pays for a whole week. You will get $61. I cannot wait. Futurama is the best show on TV, basically.
Now, Jeff,
you didn't know the odds, Morgs. What do you reckon?
No, I can't believe it. I don't know. I must admit, I don't know what I thought it would be, but it's not 61. Out of curiosity, Dust, what are you getting for your leg?
$8. So forget Head and Smith to combine for 5 centuries. You get $8, which I think is a great bet. So that's on. And if you go sports, cricket, there's all the Ashes bets. You scroll down, there's a 100K Sports Hub. We've got some hat-trick little bets in there as well. But as the tests go along, that's where you'll find. Make sure that you click on the cricket and then you go all the way down and then you'll find the 100K hub. Now, Jeff, I did tease a future bet that I put on earlier as well. Morgs, as I did mention, Carlton are paying $4.50 to make the 10. I think we make the 8. So for an extra 2-spot cushion, I had to have it. Then I've got to take my man Matt Stafford for the MVP.
Love it.
Yep. Then I've got to take the Rams to win the NFL.
NFL, NFC.
No, NFL. Win the Super Bowl. To win the Super Bowl. Rams win the Super Bowl. Carlton make top 10. We got Stafford MVP. And then OKC to win the NBA championship.
I love this.
That pays $218. I just put 20 on that to win $4,365. Literally, I'm going to be riding on Carlton to make the top 10. Stafford's winning MVP. The Rams are going to run away with it. OKC, the best team in basketball. We love teams go back-to-back. All Carlton need to do is make the top 10 for a nice 4 large. Thank you for coming.
So good. So, such an exciting bet to be riding, for sure, Dust.
It's good.
Because you started talking about NFL. Let's get into some NFL. 100K last week, boys. Not bad, not great. We've got to get better. I am teasing the greatest leg in 100K history coming up in a minute. But, Dust, have you got some NFL legs you're looking at this week, looking at the slate?
Yeah, again, when teams are playing really well, you just got to double down. The fact that we're at home again against Tampa, which is a really fun matchup. We've just been playing, I think because it was such a defensive game last week, Morgs, against Seattle. We just couldn't get things going. And McVay even said, we just got to find a way. We are finding ways to keep winning, but offense wasn't it. Let's get back to what we do. So Stafford for 2 tuds. It's $1.42, but it's a nice little fill up. The last few weeks, he had 5, 4, 4, and then 2. Tay Adams, boys, he had 1 reception, 1 yard, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
The last few weeks, he's had 51 yards, 56, 88, and 60. So we've always loved him for 50. Let's get him back to there at $1.53. And Kyron Williams just seems to punch one in every week at home. His last 3 weeks, he's had 1, 2, and 1. So Stafford for 2, Tay Adams for 50, Kyron Williams for 1. That's a nice little 325. Nice little solo multi there. But there's so many good slates, Jev. Obviously, I just have to go with the Rams. But the good teams, when they're at home, just back them. It's like what do you do with the Swans? Like, Heaney, Warner, Gould, they're all just going to have 20 and 1. Yeah. Like, Staff's going to have 2. Tay's going to get his own. Kyron Williams is going to punch one in. So that's 325. I love that.
Morgs, you had a look at all? You looked at any touchdown scores or anything?
Yeah, touchdown score. I just like this one player. Bijan Robinson against the Saints. So the last time they played in Week 10, he had 116 rushing yards, which I just love. And it'll be interesting to see, I reckon, coming off a really bad loss last week. Penix has gone down. Kirk Cousins is back. He won't make the same mistake twice. He'll be a bit more switched on, I reckon. I think they might decimate the Saints here. I don't think they're a great side, but they will decimate the sides. I think Raheem Morris is coaching for his job, and probably a lot of players are, to be honest. They don't have a first-round pick, so there's no point tanking. You've given that to the Rams. So I like Bijan for everything. So yards, maybe receiving yards as well. There's a lot of juice there. And to score a tud, absolutely.
I love that. Lads, this might be one of the best 100K slates I've ever seen. There's some head-to-head bets that are just winning. So we've got New England at Cincinnati. Joe Flacco, no Jamar Chase. New England off a mini bye played Thursday night. They just win that game head-to-head, don't they, boys?
Yeah,
love it.
I agree.
We got Seattle who have won 11 straight road games in a row. They lost to the Rams on the weekend. Now they go to Tennessee. Sam Darnold couldn't have played worse against the Rams, and they had a field goal to win it. He's not throwing 4 picks again. We've got Seattle in Tennessee. They just win head-to-head, don't they, boys?
$1.11.
Oh.
Love it.
We've got Baltimore against the New York Jets. The Baltimore just have to keep winning to win this division. They just beat the Jets. The Jets stink, boys.
Yep.
We've got the Detroit Lions. Every time they get a touch-up, they get beaten and they don't score many points. Now they come home against the Giants, who have a bad run defense, in Detroit. Detroit head-to-head. Detroit to score over 28.5 points. And Jahmyr Gibbs to score, boys. They are going to put up points. And they went 0 for 6 on 4th downs against the Eagles. I'll make a bet they go 6-0 this week and just don't punt once and score 40 at a minimum, boys. 40 at a minimum.
Yeah.
Tommy said a stat today. Apparently they haven't lost 2 games in a row. I can't exactly remember. It was like since Jesus was a carpenter.
Since they've been elite. They're so good at home. Over 28.5 is like $1.60 leg.
Oh, gobble.
For just Detroit to score. The next one. Some of the sharps I follow on Twitter and people I follow on Insta said Cleveland, Las Vegas, under 40.5. So you're telling me Shedeur Sanders is going to score over 20 on Max Crosby, and Cleveland, who just held Lamar to 10 the whole game until they got a pick and they only scored 23. Cleveland's defense and Myles Garrett is awesome. They cannot protect Geno at all, the Raiders. Under 40.5, we're getting $1.60. So we need Cleveland and the Raiders to score 20 each. That isn't happening.
No.
That isn't happening. The under in that game, Dak loves playing the Eagles. Over 1.5 touchdowns. He loves playing the Eagles. He always plays well against them. Their offense isn't humming. I love Dak over 1.5 touchdowns. We're getting $1.80. That's his line, over 1.5. But the greatest leg in 100K history, boys.
Here we go.
Wow.
Last week, Bryce Young against the Atlanta Falcons had 448 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had a career game. 450 yards. He was throwing it all around the park, right? So you're like, geez, that's a good game. Jacoby Brissett against the 49ers broke the NFL record with 47 completions. He had 452 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Right? 452 yards and 2 touchdowns. Monday Night Football is Carolina at San Francisco. Bryce Young's coming off 448. The San Fran defense are coming off 452. San Fran still played well, but it's just they had to throw the ball because they went up so early, San Fran. Bryce Young's line in this game is 200. For 225, we're getting $2.55. For 250 plus, we're getting $4. For 275 yards, we're getting $6. And for 300 passing yards, we're getting $10.50. For 300 passing yards, we're getting $10.50. He had 448 last week, so he had 300 and then half of it again. And Jacoby Brissett had 450 as well. Boys, $10.50 for Bryce Young to have 300 yards. 300 yards isn't that hard for a quarterback against a pretty average secondary. I think this is the best leg in 100K history. Boy, your thoughts to us?
That into Aussies to win the Ashes, and I'll unload the mortgage onto that, Jeff. That into Smith and Head to score 500s. Like, how many other bets can we anchor that into? I feel that's. I'll put that into my multi. Like that is.
Mate, this is the face of a man that feels like he's just won 100K. Ted McMillan, they get the other side. They can't cover them both. 300 yards.
I still think San Fran will win. So last week, San Fran, when they kick return the first play of the game to the 1 yard line and McCaffrey punched him, they were up 7-0 before bloody Jacoby Brissett finished his morning coffee, right? Then they scored again. So Brissett was just throwing it the whole game, no running the ball. I can see the exact same thing happening. San Fran get the ball, score first drive. Young goes 3 and out. They kick a field goal. So then Bryce Young just gets rid of the run and just throws it. 300 yards for 1050. That is the only leg. Or well, we'll have a couple of legs on the Monday night game now. We'll have Leggett because he has to throw it to someone. We'll have Ted McMillan. We'll have McCaffrey to score. But the rest of the slate, just get through Sunday, boys. Let's just get through Sunday.
Mate, that's fucking incredible. And I suppose I reckon we leave it out of the 100K, but we need to have a side bet. Take the Panthers plus 7.5. I think they're a dead set chance to upset the Niners.
I think they're
but
good
the 7.5
as well.
with 300 yards, let's take that as well.
I like Dallas 3.5 at home against the Eagles as well, but I wouldn't take it in the 100K.
I also like the minus 13 for the Seahawks. I didn't want to be too much of a homer when you said it. I think we'll come out angry.
Yeah,
angry.
And Darnold will cook.
And you heard Ernest Jones. Ernest Jones back his quarterback up.
Love the Rams head-to-head, but I love Baker to cook. Like a 250, 300-yard game because he'll be playing from behind as well. He'll be throwing it around.
I'm that excited to see how little we actually need to build around 300 yards for big Brycey Young. I just hope we can get him a stool to stand on or something.
No, he'll be right. He'll be right. They're all right, the Panthers.
He's been washing away a few of the critics, so I'm actually happy for him. Everyone said he's too small to be out of the league in 2 years. So, boys, that's about an hour. Ashes is back. The draft, we recap that in, Jev, the only way we know how, with absolute football knowledge. We've got some awesome bets coming up. We're getting into a good time of the year. It's crazy even just posting stuff, boys. It felt like there hasn't been too much. Instantly with cricket starting this week, how much stuff there is to post and talk about. Even just having the draft last night. It's just so, it's good when we've actually got something back. Cricket's back. We can't wait. It's going to be a huge summer. We're going to win 5-0.
Good work, boys. Hey, great
boys.
Footy is dead set back.
Yeah, footy's back. Footy's back. Also, quickly
Quote that.
touch on it. You guys mentioned before, Jesus was a chippy. How good would he have been at building houses? Just quietly.
Good. Yeah, good.
Apparently he built the G.
Is this a joke or something?
Yeah, put a bow on this.
We'll go back.
Keep it
I
in.
thought you set up a bit.
What are you prepared to lose today? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.